Hello everyone, I'm Jack from ThirdJ, and today I just want to talk about the custom buttons that I make. Something I have installation videos for the kits up on the channel, and I do leave a link in all my videos to my Etsy shop where you can buy these. But I don't really talk about them in the videos because it's not with the topic of the repair that I'm making. And I don't think most people read the description of the videos. So I figured I'll make a dedicated video just talking about them. So you can see them here on this core controller. I have joysticks that I make. I design these joysticks, I 3D print them, and inlaid in the top it's either going to be a 30-06 like these, 45 ACP, or a 308. But 45s are gonna be really common. That's just what I have the most of. I do have quite a lot of 30-06 as well. As for the main buttons on the Xbox controllers, they're gonna be 223 556 cases. If I get my hands on like some 300 blackout cases or something, I'll use those because they have 556 as their parent case. And then I do the power buttons on the Xbox controllers with either 38 Special, 357 Magnum, or 40 Smith & Wesson cases. It's probably going to end up being a lot of 40s being used, as I don't have anything that shoots 40, but I only have a 357 revolver that I shoot, so I don't really make a lot of these cases myself. And 40 Smith & Wesson once fired brass is easier to find, so these will end up being predominantly 40 Smith & Wesson. But the Xbox Ones use the exact same kit. These are identical kits because they use the same button profiles on both controllers. So you can see the primers will either vary between a silver color and a brass color. Those are really the only two primer colors. And then on the PS5, same joysticks, because they use the same size module in all four of these controllers, so they all use the same. I designed a joystick that'll work with all four of them. But these buttons, instead of 223 or 556, I use 9mm cases on here. I needed to, 9mm was what I was trying out first, but the holes are slightly smaller going through the frame on here than on here to get the buttons in. So I went with 223 and 556 on the Xbox controllers because it helps me with, I print a little cup that the case sits in, I print these little cups that the case sits in, and I plop it in there, and then this is what keeps it from being pulled out. So I needed the walls of that in order to get them. My printer can't really print them thin enough to use 9mm cases on here. Either the buttons and the bases end up being a little bit too big and the buttons keep getting stuck or they won't push, or they break 8 out of 10 times when you're trying to put it in. So that's why I went with 223 and 556 with those. These are a bit wider, so I can get enough thickness on the edge of that cup to where it'll print reliably and it'll be rigid enough to where I can actually glue the case in there and put it together. As well as it is nice having two different ones because these are cut at different lengths as well, so it's easier to organize them. All the 9mm go for PlayStation, all the 223, 556 goes to Xbox. I only do your 4 main buttons on the PS5 controllers because there's nothing else circular. So PS5's just the joysticks and those 4 buttons. But on PS4 controllers, I use a 5.7 case for the power button. So again, same joysticks, same 9mm buttons, but unlike the Xbox One and the Series controllers, these two are not interchangeable. These buttons are not interchangeable with the PS5 buttons. They decided to change how the placement of the tabs that these line up into on the PS5 controllers. These are, however, compatible with every other PlayStation controller. So all PlayStation controllers up to PS4 use the same buttons. So if you wanted to, you could buy just the buttons from the PS4 kit and put it in your PS2 or 3 controller. So all of these have regular height sticks, but I did decide to make taller ones because there's a lot of people that do like having a taller joystick. This is one of the normal ones just for scale, so you can see how much taller it is. So with these, you can choose them in your kit. All of the controllers that I have already put together come with regular ones by default, but for a little bit extra, I'll take them back apart and replace them with these if you'd rather have those. And then something that I just made that I don't even have listed yet are these rubber caps to go on top. You can see it makes the joystick a little bit wider on the top if that's something that you would like, and it also gives it a rubber texture as well. So these I do, at the time that this video is going to be going up, these are not an option yet because I only ordered a small handful of these. It's like a small little bag to experiment with to see if it was something that would work. So I just got it out. I think they came out pretty good and I like them. So I ordered a larger batch of them. I just want to wait for me to actually have my hands on that and have it in my house before I list these up for sale. I don't want to be promising people something that I can't actively produce. There's a good chance by the time you're seeing this that these are available, and then these will be an extra option that you can get when you're buying kits. And once I start making these in larger quantities, they're gonna start coming standard with controllers. So if you buy a controller, it'll come with those on it once I start making them. So other things that I want to do, or well, you've been kind of seeing the condition of the controllers as I've been handling them. But as far as if you buy a controller, what to expect with the condition, they are used controllers, so you'll see some signs of wear, maybe some little scratches on it, but nothing major. There's not going to be like deep gouges or dog bites or anything on those. Stuff like that, if it has more serious cosmetic damage, as long as it's still holding together, I'll set it aside, and once I get a decent number of those, I'm going to create a different listing for discounted controllers, and I'll just sell those at a cheaper price. all of the controllers that I get, I go through, I repair them if they need repair. Even if they're fully functional, they don't have stick drift, I service all of the potentiometers on the joysticks. I'll pop them off, I'll clean them, make sure there's no scratches in there. So that's something I do regardless of if they're drifting or not, because I don't want them to start drifting shortly after you buy them. So Etsy doesn't particularly have a good system for this, but one thing that I did start offering, I kind of figured a way to work around to make a listing for it, is if you want to send me your controller to customize. Like if you don't want to buy a completely new controller and you don't feel comfortable taking the controller apart and installing the buttons yourself, you can send your controller to me and I'll do that for you and ship it back to you. I think I have it pretty decent. I may go back and try to make some tweaks to that, as I wish Etsy had a better mail-in system, which I'm kind of surprised about, because homemade customizations are kind of the whole thing around Etsy. So I would think they would have had a better option for, mail something in to get it customized and get it sent back. But they don't. So it is decent. I may make some more tweaks to it, but that is an option for you to be able to do there. And then you can send me your controller, tell me what you want. If you want taller sticks on there, you can even, if you want different colors on those, whatever on there. Now the other thing that I tried to make a workaround for, that really I don't really like how I got, it's decent enough, I guess, but I wanted to offer the ability for people to mail in their broken controllers to put towards a working controller. Because of the lack of good mail-in systems, that one is quite a bit more of a mess than the mail-in customization. That one I still think came out good, but this one is kind of messy. If you do, honestly, I think it'd be better to go and message me on Facebook or something. I have a Facebook account for ThirdJ, and we can work something out on there. I do have the option listed on my Etsy, but it's kind of I don't really like how it came out on there. So if you do have broken controllers that you would want to send in to sell me to put towards a working one, message me on my Facebook and we can work something out on there. It'll probably be a lot easier. If you just have one, unless you're somewhere in Central Florida, it's probably not going to be worth it with what it's going to cost you to ship it to me. But if you have 3 or 4 broken controllers, and I'll take basically any controller, really, not just if you want to get a PS5 controller, you have to trade in broken PS5 controllers. No, if you have PS4 controllers or PS2, 3 controllers, I'll take basically any controller. These are the only 4 that I'm currently making customizations for, but that does not mean I intend for these to be the only controllers that I make customizations for. For shipping, I ship everywhere in the US, obviously. I do want to do international shipping. The only issue that I'm having with that is I guess there's some kind of weird law in the EU where you need to have some kind of EU based person that I'm not entirely sure how it works. I didn't look too deeply into it. It wasn't clear whether or not that applies to me, so I set it so I won't ship to those countries because I don't want to run into any weird legal issues that might get me in trouble. eBay didn't ask me about that though. I do have these on eBay as well. I don't really promote my eBay because eBay takes quite a lot more money from you than Etsy does when you sell something on their website. So I'd rather sell these on Etsy. But eBay didn't ask me about any of the EU compliance stuff. So I don't know if eBay handles that themselves or what, but if you do want one of these and you are in one of those countries, try buying it on my eBay. It's the same name, everything that I have, it's all ThirdJ is the name of it. So I think that's about it. I just kind of wanted to sit down and actually show off things that I made. I do make these completely myself. Even a lot of the cases they're from bullets that I shot myself as well. But I did all the design work on the sticks, on the little cups, experiment with everything. I cut all these down myself. So I hope you think these are cool and check out my Etsy shop if you also think they're cool and you want to get a set. And keep an eye on for other things in the future. I have some things I'm working on currently that might be coming out soon, and I'm gonna keep working on expanding different types of customizations that I offer. So keep an eye on it for interesting things in the future. Have a nice day.